We're not buying a fucking golf course.
Definitely a pro tour worthy course.
I don't think in 10 or 15 years we're going to get this as professionals anymore.
This will go down in disc golf history.
When we arrived here and we were driving down that hill, I was like, yes! I'm so happy I said yes to it. I would say this is definitely tougher than the course we played last week. Different lines are required here, and yeah, I think it's definitely a pro tour worthy course.
Definitely, yeah. It can be a pro tour course, no problem. I feel like they got everything. They got like long hole, short hole, technical, windy. It's just, I don't know. Look at that. Come on, back there. How can you not love this course? I just feel like everything is just perfect in this course.
I feel like this place is like Maple Hill, right? No matter where you live in the country, no matter what you watch on YouTube, like if you're a disc golfer, you've heard about Presimmon Ridge. And so I feel like not coming here at least once would be a disservice to myself to at least say, hey, I played there, hey, I went there, and, you know, I didn't know what to expect or what my thoughts or opinions would be coming into this week. But, you know, being here and having this place and being able to say I've been here and played a tournament here and stayed on property and, you know, hung out with everybody and ate lunch is going to be a fun experience that I don't think in 10 or 15 years we're going to get this as professionals anymore.
I feel like this having like the huge potential because the area and all this parking like lots and everything. I feel like it's going to be I hope it's going to be like in the dgpt pretty soon.
I like that they also have like wooded holes in between, even though it's like an old ball of course. So it kind of testing like all the skills, like accurate and as well throwing far. So I like the course.
In the beginning of the course, I feel like we have some birdie opportunities. We shortened a few holes, which at first I was questioning, like, maybe we should have some more challenging, but I think towards the end of the course, we get more of those challenging holes.
I really think this course has like sky high potential. Thinking of hole one, I mean, in general, like you're throwing downhill and depending on which way the wind's blowing, you just have to angle your disc a certain way to like properly get down there.
It's just very nice to like start your round with a huge forehand. I love throwing forehands, and I think on this course there's a lot of opportunities to throw forehands. But yeah, just the elevation change on the first one and seeing the whole course and the property here, it's beautiful.
What we did on hole 8, I don't think it's really evil. I think it's more fun, and it comes from ball golf. We took a par 5, a shorter one, and we made it a par 4, similar to what they do at the U.S. Open. You see it every single year. They move to a country club, and they just make one of those tweeners a par 4, and that's what we did there. It's just hard. It'll play tough. There'll be a handful of threes on it every day, but it's not going to have those tap-in eagles, and I'm happy about that. I know Steve is.
I love hole 9 just because it's a tough tee shot from the gold tee. You have to have a really good angle, like I said, off the tee. And then obviously, like, it's a really cool carving of that eagle right there. It's really beautiful. And it's still a tough shot into the green. You have to be really careful with the distance control, and you have to get far enough left for a putt for birdie. So I actually really love the challenge of hole 9. You know, coming from last week, I talked about how we were able to really, like, unleash drives. And coming from, like, Sprinkle Valley in Austin, Texas, where it was, like, super wooded, you had to be really careful with your lines. Now coming out here, we can still unleash, but you have to be really careful with your angle of your disc, especially in the wind. Everyone's talking about the wind, but even without the wind, I feel like with the OBs and some of the tree placements off the tee, you have to be really careful with what drivers you're choosing and what angles you're releasing them on for sure.
Pretty much like every hole, pretty much like, God, it's such a beautiful course. Hole 18 is pretty awesome. If you big arm enough, even women, I think some of them might try to go for it.
I don't think that there's like a better finishing hole that we'll probably play all year. I mean, personally, I think that it's pretty simple in the sense of like, you know, the fairway is pretty big, especially if you're a big thrower. It almost gets wider the further you go. But I just think that green, I don't think you realize how steep it is until you're standing there. You know, I mean, it's like this, you know, and I think that throwing into it, you know, I threw yesterday and I played and I ended up like 50 long. I mean, it's like you can't even realistically run it. I mean, I don't care if the World Championship's on the line, you might not be able to run that putt from, you know, up top left. So I think that hole just sticks out to me as like the iconic hole, or the hole that, like, if we could only play one hole 18 times, like that's the hole I would pick. But I'm sure other people have their, you know, feelings or opinions on that.
It's a random one, but hole 13, it's a shorter par 3, one big tree in the middle, and there's a little skinny one off to the left. It's slightly uphill. It's just a pretty fun shot. I like the visual it creates playing up that hill. There's definitely some lefty lines It seems like some of the righty holes are quite punishing for the lefty lines, though. There's definitely some lefty lines out there. I can throw well. It just depends on that wind, really. I was here pretty much when Persimmon got started in 2020. They threw that first B tier after the strange times we had going on. I was in that first skins match that they threw out here as well.
Came out here with James Conrad back in 2019 after the Jonesboro Open and knew it was something special. So when COVID happened in 2020, everything got shut down, but Arkansas opened up first. You can start sanctioning events, and I called Kim immediately and was like, we got to do something at your property. I knew it was imperative that it be a private course, but we sanctioned a B tier immediately. It filled up so fast. Everybody in Louisiana, Kansas, anywhere around here heard we were doing it. No one had played disc golf in 3 months, so they jump over. We were like, why don't we just do one next weekend too? So GK Pro was like, we'll film them both. And we said, what are we going to do throughout that entire week? So we ended up having some good games. Just worked out, and it was incredible the way it fell into our laps, really. We knew it was the weekend before Jonesboro. We'd love to do a skins match when, those sort of things align properly. So they were like, hey, it's an A tier. Come do your skins. Do you guys want to film it? GK Pros, bouncing around, doing some MPO1 coverage. So it's just crazy how it worked out. It's a beautiful thing, really. One of the things we're really excited about here at Persimmon Ridge is being able to exhibit the FPO and MPO field all in one day. It's never been done before. We're going to have the FPO coverage hopefully out by 5 p.m. and the MPO coverage out by 11 p.m. With the help of the Disc Golf World guys, we're just going to bring it to you.
As I was looking on Zillow, I said, hey, Persimmon Ridge Golf Course is for sale. And she said,
we're not buying a fucking golf course. We decided we were going to do weddings. And when we had a few weddings.
Sure.
And then Matt Lloyd came to talk to us about disc golf. And I just didn't know anything about disc golf. I was like, well, we have weddings. We don't need a bunch of baskets and all of that out there. And so originally, he was only allowed to design the course kind of on the back 40. So we can't see any baskets because we have these weddings, Then COVID came, and we kind of stopped doing weddings, and we really became a haven for disc golfers because every place else you could only have like 2 people together or what have you. And we were just like, just come on out here. We've realized pretty quick that disc golfers are just way more cool than brides. From there, we started buying discs to sell, and we didn't know how disc golfers like to touch and feel every disc and smell them and, flip them around. And the pro shop has evolved from there. Our course designer messaged me, you're 56.
I didn't even know they kept numbers.
We didn't know what it meant. I'm like, 56 what? And he was like, on you disc. I'm like, is that good? What does that mean? I didn't even know. Around the next year, I guess was when we had all the COVID play, and Luke Humphries had the 2 tournaments here, the skins matches started here, all of that. Well, we were ranked number 12 that year. Yeah, we're like, okay, that's cool, 12. Well, then last year we were 26, which is okay, still cool. Yeah. And then this year, we got an email from UDisc, and they said, you're in the top 10, and we'd like to schedule a phone interview. I didn't expect him to tell me. I just said, would you just tell us kind of where we ended, expecting him to say number 10, And he said, well, let me check. Oh, you're number 6. And we're like, what? It just surprised us. So, yeah, we're just blessed.
Kim and Steve have been so nice to us, and the property is so nice. I'm a little bit jealous.
Yeah, I came here, I think it was 2019. It was pretty new back then, so the layout has expanded and grown a lot. I love it out here, so I'm just super excited to be back. The course is amazing. I love all the work that's been put out here. You can always tell the heart and soul.
I mean, it's really cool that someone owns this property. This isn't a state park. This isn't, a public park. This is like someone's actual property that they purchased for themselves. For this to be someone's private land that they allow us to play on and stay on property and fish and feed us and everything. I mean, it's pretty dang cool to me to see people, dedicating their hard work that they've accumulated throughout their life to, disc golf.
The people that come to see us in general, they're traveling more than an hour. Just even our local guys are, right, to come see us, and they're good to us back. I think of them as family. They wanted more, and so we want to give them what they want.
Well, I think that there's a lot of shots that you throw where you can't really hit a tree per se. Sure. Like to hit the tree, you're like going out of bounds, if that makes sense. So, I mean, when I think of ball golf, I think of like rip it and like the the hit the tree thing is out. I think we play a lot of courses on the Pro Tour that probably don't deserve to be on the Pro Tour. And I think there's probably courses out there in the world, maybe this is one that should be on the Pro Tour. You know, I think the tee pads here are grippy. I think the baskets are level. I mean, I think a lot of the things that the Pro Tour is missing right now are here.
Compared to other courses on tour, I love the elevation on this course. We have lots of downhill shots, and then you're throwing uphill, where last week in Houston it was just dead flat completely. So yes, we're throwing more open shots here, but we do have that elevation change as well as the greens. I think it could make it on the Disc Golf Pro Tour for sure. Maybe adding a few more of those par fours for the ladies, where it's like you have to be in the perfect spot from the drive to attack for the birdie to get a 3. But I think there definitely could still be a lot of scoring separation out here.
I think it would definitely be ready to be on the Pro Tour. They've got the space for it. Is a big part of it. That helps out with parking and things of that sort. I don't know that changing it, you could, with the land out here, you could change it and make a different awesome layout, but it's already awesome the way that it is. I don't think there's too many things you would need to change.
It's gone through a bunch of iterations and variations. It's its best version right now. One of the prettiest versions I've ever seen too. It's so green out here. I mean, the place is amazing. That wood carving of the eagle is mind-blowing until you stand right there and really see the scale. I sat in that building, that clubhouse right there, and called every number on the PDGA registry for a disc golf company to figure out if they wanted to participate in skins. So to be out here working for my friends, for the players, it really doesn't feel as much like work, and it's something I enjoy doing as well. I think that Kim and Steve know they have a good product here. They know they have the infrastructure to hold big events, so they might not necessarily feel like they need the Pro Tour in situations in the future, but it would be cool if we could get the best in the game here with some live coverage. I think it'd be great. You know, the place is built for it. It really is.
Well, the course was designed for public consumption, right? It wasn't designed to be on the Pro Tour. You know, truthfully, we've done a lot of other design work to make it where it works for everybody. These days, we get more and more people that have never seen a disc. We get mothers and grandmothers, and you know, the carts help with that. And we get children and new people. As a matter of fact, it's half of our business anymore is brand spanking new people. And, you know, if you're brand new, you know, and you come to the property over here, we try to do our part. We want the people that love disc golf to think they're in Disneyland. That's kind of the goal.